I'm your host, Stephen Vanover, here on the Sports Talk Line Network, where we talk sports 24/7, 365. This is NFL Live. We're here to review the week. We got with me Joshua Griffith coming in live from Canada. How you doing tonight, Josh?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, but you're going to have to, so get ready. All right, and the exact polar opposite of you right now as we move on, we have Nate No Remorse Dowdy. Good evening, sir, and how are you doing tonight?
Oh, man, hey, Van, I'll tell you one thing. I know you can identify with this. I had a joint in one hand, and I had a bottle of champagne in the other.
Oh, there you go. And we're not going to talk about where your third hand was. Okay. All right, well, let's dive right in. And before we do so, thank you so much for being here. If you've not already subscribed to the Sports Talk Line channel, please do so. Slap that notify. We really, really appreciate it. And hey, your support, without it, nothing happens. We now have the Sports Talk Line gear down before. You can get the logo on just about anything from face masks to, I didn't know we had those. Okay, to lots of things, all right? All right, so down below, we really appreciate the support. And first up, guys, we're going to pimp the game that's coming up here shortly because it's a game with a lot of playoff implications, believe it or not. We're talking Cleveland Browns and New York Giants. Both of these teams are second in their division, vying for playoff positions, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So hang around. We're going to be doing highlights tonight. Sports Talk Line, be doing some stuff live on Twitter. You'll be able to catch that. But let's get to the games. First up, Josh, what's your take here? New England Patriots at Miami Dolphins. And, you know, this is a gimme. Patriots win, you put it in the bank, they go ahead and they go on to the playoffs, right?
Isn't this every other year? That's what we're saying. We're saying the New England Patriots beat the Miami Dolphins and they're moving on to the playoffs. But, oh, what a year. It's 2020, so we're not seeing that this year. The Patriots will be eliminated from playoff contention with that loss today, the 22-12 loss to the Miami Dolphins. And the Miami Dolphins look like they're well on their way to the playoffs.
Wow.
I got to add on top of that, they got eliminated from the playoffs by one of his own disciples, Bill Belichick, Brian Flores. So that's insult to injury right there.
Well, that's a compliment. That's not insult, it's a compliment. But hey, Nate, I'm going to put this to you. Not only is this the end of the Patriots season, I'm thinking this could be the end of Cam Newton as a starter in the NFL.
Ooh, man. Okay, you're digging a little deep there, but I mean, that's the thing. It's interesting what New England's going to do. In the limited amount of time we've seen Jarrett Stidham, do you have enough confidence in him to put him over extending someone like Cam Newton? I don't think you have.
Well, I don't think Cam Newton has done enough to warrant being extended. I think they're looking for a quarterback. It's either going to be Stidham or somebody else, but it's not Cam Newton.
It's interesting, though, because you're in a quarterback-heavy class at the moment this coming year, and there's a lot of guys that could be in their wheelhouse considering the fact that they only have 6 wins. Let's say hypothetically they lose out. You're looking at like a top 10 to 12 pick. You're in the wheelhouse of maybe a good quarterback.
All right, well, look, we're moving on down the road, and if you're a team that's having some problems, that was awesome last year, but you're in a COVID flex, can't quite find your identity, your offensive line is trashed, I'm saying playing the Jacksonville Jaguars is probably a good thing for you, right?
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, here's one thing about the Jacksonville Jaguars. They shocked everyone week 1 by taking out a team like the Colts, and now they hold pick numero uno. So
there it is. I really like what the Ravens did here today as they dropped a 40 burger on them. Lamar Jackson, 17 for 22, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Okay. But he was not their leading rusher, and that's what I like about this. Now, granted, he did, take the ball out of there 10 times, but only 35 yards. He did score on the ground. But you had J.K. Dobbins with 64, Gus Edwards with 42. Heck, even Tyler Huntley got in almost 20 yards. It's good that he's not the leading rusher every game, and more importantly, he's not the leading rusher in a game that they just dominated.
Yeah, and I think that it was a good win for the Baltimore Ravens, especially coming off what they've been facing in the last couple of weeks. They are going to have a tough 2 weeks to end this season. They're not in a playoff spot as we look at it right now. And Yeah, it was a tidy game, like you said. I mean, Lamar Jackson didn't really do anything, too spectacular. He had the 3 touchdowns for 1 pick, but 17-22, it was tight.
All right, well, Josh, here's another game that is about like that game, but it's still worth mentioning because there's 2 teams heading 2 different directions, and I'm talking about Detroit, the curse of Matt Millen Lions, versus Tennessee, Derrick Henry Titans. I mean, are those 2 teams going 2 different directions or what?
They are both going 2 different directions. Just exactly. Before I throw it over to Nate with this, I have one thing. The different directions they're going is the exact same as Derrick Henry's stiff arm. That is a perfect example of the 2 directions these 2 teams are going, because Derrick Henry was going one way, the other guy was going the other way.
I mean, men and boys. And Derrick Henry started out not good in this game. I mean, the first quarter, he was not Derrick Henry. People were going, what's up? What's up? I guess it just took him a little while to get warmed up, people, because what he did to the opposing team, they may just not have a film day next week. Otherwise, these guys may be scarred for life.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, I mean, come to think of it, look at as good of a player as Matthew Stafford is. How much of a career he's wasted. I mean, we've said this before, how much of a career he's wasted in Detroit. How would a team like the Tennessee Titans, I know Tannehill's okay, but imagine if they switched roles. How much more of a contender do you look at the Tennessee Titans?
Well, Stafford can go hang out with Archie Manning and Tony Romo and some of those other QBs that just had crap teams around them. I mean, that's all you can do. I give them props for hanging with the one team and giving those guys a chance to win every week and always bringing their all. Every one of those guys. I loved watching Archie Manning play back in the day with the Nates, and it was an awesome thing. But, hey, speaking of scarred for life, the New York Jets are no longer a winless team in the NFL. And, I'm just going to stop right there because I'm going to turn this gently over to the man. And you did turn down your mic, right? Okay.
Yeah, I turned it down. Should be pretty good.
All right. I'm going to turn down my volume. Oh. You go right ahead. But basically, I will point out that the New York Jets won a game today, and you're going to talk about the Los Angeles Rams, I believe.
Yes, I'm going to talk about the Los Angeles Rams that lost to the New York Jets. The New York Jets. This is a team that Clemson or Alabama could beat. You're talking that the head coach phones him midweek and he wants to talk and say, it's okay. You guys haven't won a game, but stay with it. You're playing the team this week. What are you doing? You have a chance to take the NFC West, to take a stranglehold on Seattle, coming with 2 big games against Arizona and Seattle. And this was the showing that you guys do. It's the New York Jets. There was no facets of the game that were working today for the Rams. You go late, you have big 4th down opportunities, a third and 4 and a 4th and 4, and you're throwing 30-yard bombs down the field. His punt's getting blocked. All you have to do is just let Hecker punt the ball, and it goes 60 yards. This was a joke. Last week, I'm talking about how the Rams are one of the best teams in the NFC, and they're going to compete with the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers for one of the top seeds in the NFC. No, they're garbage. If I had power rankings, they would move right to the bottom of it in the NFC. Figure it out, Rams.
I have a question for you about the Rams, and it's Jared Goff. I'm not saying he's bad at all. I mean, because he's not. He's a good QB. But what I don't see is him making the guys around him a lot better. When everything's clicking and everybody's doing their job, he's very effective. I mean, he's very effective. He's more than a game manager. I'm not saying that's what he is. What I'm saying is, here he is today, 22 of 34, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. That's pedestrian. I mean, this is when he's supposed to be hitting his prime right now, isn't it?
Everything was pedestrian with him today, with the whole game plan, with trying to run the ball. You average 30 plus yards or 30 plus rush attempts a game, and you're trying to go away from the game plan against the Jets. Did you think it was going to be fancy? I mean, the Rams had 10 days rest going into this game, 11 days rest.
But now the Jets came this close to winning last week. They've been playing good ball once they got rid of the coach. Once they did some change up there. Sam Darnold is playing lights out right now. He's playing for a contract for a team somewhere, and he knows it's not going to be with the New York Jets because they're going to have, Trevor Lawrence or somebody like that there. Just brutal. And when you're talking about people wasting their career, it's not the same thing, but I'm talking Aaron Donald. Here is what some people would say the best player in the NFL, not just the best defensive tackle, not just the best defender, but the best player in the NFL. Now, he did make it to a Super Bowl, so you can't say wasted. But, I mean, gosh, man, what more can this guy do?
I can't blame it on him. I can't blame it on him today. I mean, he had strong game. When he's not getting double teamed, when he's getting seen teams, he's in the quarterback face. He was making, the game trouble for Darnold all game. I don't know. I mean, Nate, I'm sure I knew that once you jumped in on this, I was like, God, Nate's gonna give me some. So Nate, I want to hear it.
No. Honestly, I was rooting for you guys that game. I was rooting. I'm a fan of Sean McVay and everything like that. But here's the thing. Now that the new I call them New Jersey because that's where they exactly play. So I'm just being accurate when I call them the New Jersey Jets. But here's the thing now. Now that you've moved into the new number 2 spot in the draft position now, you're losing out on what seems to be the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. What do? You see, like, here and there some competency from Sam Darnold. Do you stick with him and go best non-QB player available at the number 2 spot and rebuild that way, particularly with 2 first-round draft choices? Or do you say forget about that and you go with Justin Fields or somebody else?
I think they trade one of their first-round draft choices to Denver to get that kid that they played as a QB the week they didn't have a QB, because that kid's a talent. He just got to get his confidence up, and then also he can go out and run patterns, right? Because he's a wide receiver. So that is going to give the Jets something that is going to be tough to game plan for, like anybody actually game plans for the Jets anyhow. So.
Sports psychologist Steven Vanover over here.
Guys, this is 2020 in the NFL. So, Congrats to Jets fans out there. You're not going to have a winless season. And can we please move on to another game?
All right. Well, let's do that actually, and let's move over to the guy that's been having the Cheshire Cat shit-eating grin for the last 10 months as he's watching Joshua talk. And there was another game, and it was almost 2 40 burgers. But San Francisco only put up 33. The Dallas Cowboys put up 41. And the turnovers were just rolling in, weren't they?
San Francisco 49er fans, you just got eliminated by the Dallas Cowboys. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That's gotta hurt.
You've been eliminated by the Cowboys. You have gone 1-3 in the NFC East this season. Goodbye. No one is gonna miss you. Get out of town. Whatever.
And if you ever wondered what a disturbed Santa Claus played by Jack Nicklaus would sound like, now you know. Okay? you don't have to. You can cross that off your bucket list. Now you know.
But I'll say this. Here's the way Andy Dalton played a shit game today. He did not play well.
Yes.
But who played worse? Nick Mullins.
Oh, yeah.
And if you rewind this about 6 months ago, teams were inquiring about Nick Mullins for a trade offer, and then the 49ers straight up said, we are not going to give up anything for him. This guy is valuable.
The 49ers front office did a better job with their next year draft pick by helping their team tank and getting them a really bad backup QB versus the Cowboys, who actually got a QB that could, he threw a 45-yarder, he threw this. So they actually hurt their their chances for a better draft pick. But they are in contention for the lead in the NFC East now, aren't they?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You go back to the New York Giants. At the beginning of the day, they got flexed out of this game. That's the funny part. So that's another slap to the 49ers. Actually, it's a slap to Jerry's face too, but who cares about Jerry?
It's a slap to the Cowboys. It's a slap to the Cowboys.
And as long as you're slapping things, don't forget to slap that notify bell down below, okay?
Appreciate got it going on. But do not let that distract you from the fact that the 49ers have been eliminated by the Dallas Cowboys.
And you know, that's only 4 times you've mentioned it. I think you have 6 as a cap, so you can keep going. You can go 2 more.
Yeah, no, 1-3 against the NFC, the 49ers, even with their drill, the human centipede, they were not prepared enough for the Cowboys when they were about to take up the tailpipe today.
Well, you know, just like you talked about, Dalton did not play a good game. The Dallas defense did not play a good game. The other team dropped 33 points on them, and the other team got 33 points after they turned the ball over 4 times. So no, the Dallas defense did not play a good game. They had some playmakers though. And one of them I want to talk about is Mr. And when you make plays like this, your name is Mr., right? And how long has it been since the Cowboys have had a safety worth talking about?
Oh, the Donovan the Hitman Wilson, man, with the INT. He actually dropped a second one on the drive after that.
Check out Jordan Lewis as well. I've got both of those. I've got Donovan Lewis. Here's Jordan Lewis. He had a second quarter to blow everybody's mind. He had passes defensed on the goal line. He had sacks. He had just anything that you'd want from a free safety, tackled for loss, back up against the edge of the goalpost. That turned into a punt. This kid was everywhere, making solid tackles. Look at him. Did the Cowboys need more of this or what?
Yeah, it's interesting because Jordan Lewis is in a contract year at the moment, so it's going to be interesting to see if they extend him. But on top of that, let's not have this distract you from the fact that the 49ers have been eliminated by the Dallas Cowboys in the playoff contention.
You know, it happens. It happens. And that was number 6, by the way, Nate. I just want to give you the heads up on that. You're going to get beeped after this, okay?
I give you a 6-pack any way you want.
All right. It was a fantastic game. There were playmakers on the Dallas Cowboys defense. That's what I really have to give credit for. But the defense itself, a lot of problems. Jalen Smith, again, not an impact player, but LVE got injured. And then he wasn't playing that well either, taking some bad angles. But I go back to this, Nate, Josh, actually. When you have that many players taking bad angles, out of position, is it the players or is it the scheme/coaching?
Well, it could be a little bit of both, depending. I mean, that's why I hate PFF so much, is because you don't know exactly how they were coached and what they were told to do on the set play. So, I mean, I'm not going to try.
Or not told to do.
Or not told to do on the set play. But, I mean, most of the time when it comes to angles and stuff, it's 100% on the player.
But you know, these were players that for the last few years, they've been in position. They've been excelling. And now they're in a different system under different coaches, and they look lost at times. They look lost a lot. I mean, to me, that's not players. That's on coaching, man.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do in the offseason, because it's going to be the first test to see if there is going to be a divide between the locker room and the coaching staff. Because if Mike Nolan does not get let go this offseason, he's essentially saying the blame is on the players. It's going to be interesting to see if there's going to be a divide from that.
You know, he's not against passing blame out. I mean, that's just the way he goes.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. But, I mean, I think you're forgetting the important thing at the moment here. And you're ready for number 7, that the San Francisco 49ers have been eliminated from playoff contention from the Dallas Cowboys. The Niners have gone 1-3 in the worst division in football. They suck.
All right, the last thing that I'm going to mention and bring up about this game, and I think it's worth mentioning, because I think all 3 of us here agree that Ezekiel Elliott is not the running back that he has been. He's lost his burst, his zip. And now, and it really hasn't been there for 2 years. It wasn't there last year either, was it, Nate?
No, that's the thing. And then there's an argument online to see if it is anything. And yeah, look, when was the last time you saw Ezekiel Elliott do anything like this?
You mean leave a crew of guys out there, burst, vision, pop, 40 yards, touchdown, cut off to the right? Yeah, that's my point. This kid did it through the air. He picked up blitzes in the backfield, and he did it on the ground. I mean, this is awesome. Now, a lot of people are saying replace Elliott. His contract makes that really a negligible thing. But I think exactly what you and I have been talking about, Nate, split up those touches. This has to be a 50-50 minimum. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, you can't get – I mean, when he displays this type of explosiveness and elusiveness, you can't just continue to give this guy 7 touches a game.
No, it just doesn't make sense. Would you agree with that, Josh? I mean, the Rams had a similar situation there where they can't decide which running back to go with.
Yeah, and I think for the Cowboys too, a lot of it falls on the offensive line too, right? I mean, Ezekiel Elliott is used to, he doesn't really have to break tackles, or he's used to getting these big gaping holes with that great O-line that he's had, and couldn't get it this year. And he's not really that, I don't think he's that type of runner that is good yards after contact. I mean, I don't have the numbers or anything in front of me, but yeah, just look at it could be a nice alleviating set to give him some rest and also get Pollard's skill set into the mix.
Well, yeah, some rest. I totally agree with you there, Josh, because his contract's going to keep him on the Cowboys for another year or two.
Yeah,
he is a good power runner. He is a good power runner. He does move the sticks, and he plays hurt. He's got durability. There's a lot to like about with him. I don't like the contract, but hey, he's still a talented guy, but he's lost his burst, and this kid has it. Pollard has that burst in spades, doesn't he?
Yeah, and it must be the earring between Ezekiel Elliott's nose that must be holding him back. I mean, it's like a magnet. It's just... like
maybe it's the spoon getting in the way of the cereal. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, guys, that's a lot. We got to get ready for the game tonight. It's on in about 10 or 15 minutes. We really appreciate everybody being here. Thanks so much. Without you, it wouldn't happen. Be sure and hit that subscribe, hit that notify, pick up some merchandise. We love that stuff. We want to see everybody wearing Sports Talk Line gear. And until next time, Nate, you'll find him at No Remorse Sports on Twitter. Mr. Joshua Griffith, you will find him at Joshua Griffith 0. And before we go, though, Mr. Joshua Griffith, you must tell us about a sports show that has no name.
Well, we have a couple sports shows that have no names. We have the unnamed sports show, the regular one. And then with the NBA season kicking off, we have the unnamed NBA show. That's going to be coming to you. We're going to try and schedule it kind of around primetime Laker games, scheduling like on the weekends, Friday nights kind of deal. So we should have one coming to you actually on Christmas Day for the Lakers games. So stay tuned for that, and hope everyone will join me and chat some NBA and some hoops.
My mind's blown. The unnamed NBA show. Isn't that name?
I'm so lazy, aren't I? With my names?
All right. Well, look, everybody, we really appreciate it. And Nate, what do you do until the next time you come back and listen to us?
Yep. Listen like you play with intensity.
There it is. Go Cowboys, go Rams, go NFL. Thank you all. See you next week.
Rams are terrible.
Guys, that went good.
Go Rams. Rams are terrible.
But,
go Rams. Don't say go Rams. Come on, man. Don't even do that. I know you're trying to. That's just garbage. They were garbage.
It's dark. I actually like the Rams, so I mean, I have no problem.
Yeah, me too. Fuck, it sounds like you guys. I should be in the NFC East right now. Like they're still. Well, shit, no, because the Cardinals won. So realistically, like the Rams could end up the 7th seed.
Oh, that's just freaky.
They've clinched a playoff. I think that.
And that's the thing they're in. So actually right now, this is a coach's dream, man. He's got every bit of motivation. He can rip every player. Yeah. Nobody gets to take a moment off because of the way they played.
And Seattle next week, big game. And then Arizona.
Which is a tough game.
Yeah, and then Arizona to finish the season. So they can technically still win the NFC West. But
And Washington lost in the East. Cowboys won. So that means the Giants tonight should be able to move up.
No, Giants are going to lose. Giants need to lose tonight. No, I'm sorry. No, The Giants mathematically have to lose for me to still get a 6-win NFC.
Oh, that's right.
That
So they got to
6-win
lose.
divisional championship. Yes, they have to lose because everybody
All
plays.
right,
each other
so
now.
that's it. No more victories for you guys. Okay,
No. They can win today. No, they have to lose today.
That's right.
And then
That's
win.
it. But that's it. They have to lose out.
No, they win today and then they lose today and then win against, I don't know. I have it mapped out somewhere, but because now they start playing everybody. So, but Washington can't win anymore because they've already won.
NFC East math can be painful.
Yeah, so Washington has to lose out to, I think, the Eagles and I think the Giants is who they play.
Yeah.
And then
they play the Giants next week and then the Eagles.
Yeah. So Washington has to lose both. That's the game the Giants have to win, and then they have to lose their next game against the Cowboys, I think. Yeah, that's something like that. We're gonna get a 6-win division champion, guys.
I'm so excited.
Double-digit losses.
That's the only thing that gives me solace with today. I was like, yes.
Oh yeah.